Hello, you people.
Hello.
Hello, you people. How's everybody doing out there? Well, welcome to the Motley Soup Podcast. I'm Nate.
I'm Kendall.
And our names haven't changed, have they?
Not today.
Not today.
No.
Not today, mofos. Welcome to the Motley Soup Podcast. Another edition up and running here for you. And with that being said, I don't know what to tell these people about what's been going on since the last time we recorded.
It beats me. It's Ohio. It's rainy and dreary, and
I know what to tell them. We're
fall.
on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. You did fix that, didn't you?
Yes, I did fix that. I took down apparently my very raunchy video or something. I don't know. And I tried to do the first page. And full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, Nate put up a podcast with copyrighted music on it.
Oh,
and YouTube
no.
shut that shit down in like 20 minutes. Like, damn, they have somebody that was listening to my podcast. At least they could give me a good rating if they're listening to it.
Give me something.
But anyway, please, I will continue to put links to our YouTube page on our Facebook page and on motleysoup.com. And please subscribe and like our YouTube page. We are going to do some YouTube exclusive stuff on there, where you might even get to see our smiling faces.
Yay, our smiling faces.
Yay.
Yay.
Those won't be the episodes we record in our pajamas, will they?
I guess not.
I mean, I'm alright with it. People see me in my PJ pants here at the Motley Palace. So what's going on over there?
I'm reading and catching up on some things.
Oh, well.
Oh.
Way to be prepared for your own show.
Oh, yeah. Don't judge me, monkey.
Me no judge. I'm the least judgmental guy you'll ever know.
Is that a fact, Jack?
Yeah, well, maybe not. All right. So anyways, just kind of random stuff on the show today that we're bringing to you, presenting to you on this week's show. And I have a story that I did not do on the last show that I kind of wanted to do. This actually occurred just after Hurricane Florence. Did I talk about the dog shelter lady yet?
No.
No?
Not to my knowledge.
Oh. Well.
If you did, I wasn't listening.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
After Hurricane Florence, this lady, Tammy Hedges, took action to protect pets that may have otherwise been caught in the storm, a decision that led to her arrest.
Oh.
Hedges, a resident of Wayne County, North Carolina, was taken into custody. It's not Friday because this is from September 23rd, but was taken into custody after providing care for more than 24 animals, 17 cats and 10 dogs, for owners who had to evacuate before the storm hit. The owner of Crazy's Claws and Paws, a donation-based animal rescue center, was in the process of converting a warehouse space into a proper animal shelter when she decided to use the building to help keep pets dry. However, her facility was not legally registered as a shelter. So, in other words, after the hurricane passed, Hedges got a call from Wayne County Animal Control regarding the animals. He basically told me you can voluntarily hand over the animals, or I can go get a warrant. She willingly surrendered the animals. A few days later, they called me in for questioning, and yesterday they arrested me, she said. The charges included 12 counts of practicing medicine without a veterinary license.
Oh, no.
So, pretty much they were... And what they're saying here is that they were not administered. They were pretty much. Let me see. They were pretty much just keeping these things.
Way to be
dry. Yeah. Way to be prepared for my own podcast, right?
Right.
Well, they were charged with one count of administering amoxicillin to Big Mama.
What the heck is a Big Mama?
I don't know if it's a cat or a dog. One count of administering a tramadol to Big Mama. 3 counts of administering amoxicillin to a white Siamese cat. 3 counts of administering a topical antibiotic ointment from Dollar Tree to a white Siamese cat, 3 counts of administering amoxicillin to a cat known as Sweet Pea.
Wait, how do they know this happened?
1 count of administering amoxicillin to an unnamed black kitten, and 1 count of solicitation to commit a crime.
But how do they know this even happened?
This is what they're saying. Well, I don't think that they denied it. It is pretty much the thing. I don't think that this lady denied anything she did. She probably was up front with them and told them what she did. She doesn't sound like an asshole or anything.
I think, okay, this is too far-fetched for my liking. So basically, she sheltered these animals from the hurricane.
And got arrested
she's being arrested because
she was released the next day.
Practicing veterinary medicine without a license.
Right.
Okay. Well, so what's the point? I don't understand the point. Like, what? Why are they mad at her?
That was my point for bringing the story up, because I didn't understand. Like, I mean, okay, I understand if this lady would have been like performing surgeries or something on these animals, but essentially, you got antibiotics, okay. And then the rest of the stuff they said was all over the counter stuff you could literally find at a Dollar Tree. So it wasn't like they were, giving these cats chemo or anything, or, they were just keeping them dry and keeping them healthy during the hurricane. What's the big deal? That's what I
don't understand. Yeah, it wasn't Dr. Yosef from Human Centipede or something.
Oh my!
She's just sheltering these critters from
Kitty Centipede.
I don't know. That was stupid. That was stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was stupid.
I thought it was pretty stupid too.
That's pretty stupid.
It's just more government malarkey, really. The government's got to rub their silly fat nose at everything. Oh, lordy.
But that was stupid.
Speaking of government, election day's coming.
Mm.
So have you heard... I had to research this one, okay? When I saw the story, I had to look to see if the story was available at multiple sources. And it was actually available at legit news sources, like from legit news places, like newspapers and stuff like that, or what have you, websites. The trans-species dragon lady, have you seen this lady?
Nope.
Yeah. So now we're going into trans-species.
Well, that was a thing anyway. Like the people who identify as lizards and cats and stuff. That's been going on for years. Except years ago, when people would do that, they would end up on Ripley's.
Yeah.
Remember that show?
Yeah.
Like the lizard guy from Ripley's?
Yeah.
That's the difference between 2001 and 2019.
Well, this lady has essentially turned herself into a dragon. Her name is Eva Tiamat Medusa.
All right.
A woman from Bronte, Texas, quit her job as a vice president of a bank several years ago in order to pursue her dream of living as a dragon.
You know what? Sometimes working for a bank will cause you to do crazy things. Like,
can cause you to act like a dragon, can it?
Yeah, it can.
And that's okay, but living like a dragon. She made the decision after being diagnosed with HIV, which was a wake-up call that she wasn't living her life the way she wanted to. Now, after $60,000, she looks completely different, and she's that.
Okay, well.
Put a picture of this creature up.
You always say that, and you never do.
I know. Well, I was relying on you for a while to do it, and then you stopped, so...
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the Facebook page enough to do anything with it.
She has 8 horns on her forehead. She's had her ears removed, her nose reshaped, most of her teeth removed. She's had the white parts of her eyes stained, tongue bifurcated. Whatever, cut in half. The whole face is tattooed, and she's had scarification and branding on her chest and wrist.
Can you go back to her picture? Yes. I didn't notice she didn't have ears. She really does not have ears.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. But why does she have piercings? That has nothing to do with being a lizard.
Well, She is a lady who's bat crazy enough to make herself look like a lizard, so I don't know. Maybe it's not that strange.
She has 14 piercings on her face alone. Actually, 16 if you count those cheek things, those dimple things. Mm. But yeah, no, I don't understand how the piercings have anything to do with being a lizard.
I don't understand why you want to look like a lizard.
Well, I mean, she can do what she wants. It's weird, but
I bet this lady, like, and I hate to say this, that's what they mean by gentrification or whatever
I knew what it meant.
Well, anyway, I bet this person, these people know what they're doing, you know? I mean, they know what they're doing. I bet she goes into like a restaurant and something, and when somebody looks at her weird, she's like, I can't believe that person's looking at me weird. You can't believe that person's looking at you weird? Like, okay, alright, whatever. I don't
Like, it's not like you're wearing a wig, you know, you're got lumps under your skin.
You are all fucked up. All fuggered up. Well, anyway. So, remember the witches that you talked about on, like, episode 2 that put the hex on Trump or whatever?
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, well, were they
before
in New York?
He was voted into presidency?
Were they New York witches?
I do not remember. We'll have to go back to
if
episode
so,
whatever.
If so, they're back again because they supposedly placed a hex on Brett Kavanaugh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, the last hex caused Trump to become president, so I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, Brett's gonna be all right. I don't know. I mean, I don't believe in hexes, so I don't think it would work. I think it's funny that this group of people, just like I did when we talked about the Trump thing, I think it's funny this group of people gets together and does their little witch hex and thinks it's going to make any kind of difference in the world. I don't know. That's all I had. You didn't react much, so it's your turn.
I really didn't have anything to react. Like, I don't know. The animal story was kind of lame. I'm like, these people are arresting her for what reason? Okay, lame.
Lame peeps.
Lame people. We have a bathing cat in the studio.
What's new?
Ugh. The only thing I have really, you know, but the folks at home don't know, you know, listening in. I have this fascination with radiation. I don't know why, but I do. It's like death and destruction fascinates me. Don't understand it.
Radiation fascination.
It's so strange. So I've talked to you about this elephant foot thing. And the elephant foot thing, my understanding is when the reactor had its little meltdown in Chernobyl, I think what it was like the uranium overheated and melted to the bottom of the tube that it was in, or the encasing or whatever. So it became a big glob of radioactive goo, you know, underneath the factory.
Right.
So it's still there, and it's still very much radioactive. So they, of course, before they knew that it was extremely dangerous, they were investigating it. And these poor people, there was like a handful of workers and a few photographers that went down there, and, you know, they got some pictures of it and evaluated it, and they ended up dying like days later because it was so radioactive that it was changing their molecular structure, you know?
Right.
So I was kind of interested as to how many rads this thing contained. So it basically it itself emits over 10,000 rads per hour, which is a lot, you know, considering...
Sounds like it.
Well, considering our background normal radiation amount is 0.03. This is 10,000. That is
Rad.
That is incredible. I mean, I think 10,000 is basically what it comes down to, what we get like maybe in a year, you know, with like airplanes and security checks and x-rays, you know, just your everyday life, you know. Bananas are radioactive.
Bananas are radioactive.
But this
Those
thing...
Imagine Dragons.
So this thing emits 10,000 per hour. If you were to be near it, that's how much you would absorb. And it kind of broke it down to,
6 nipples later.
Yeah, you won't even make it to the first new nipple. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, you're basically going to die before anything grows.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
The first nipple means the chicken's done.
Okay, so it kind of put it in perspective. So 5 to 10 means there could be changes in the person's blood chemistry. 70, you're probably going to experience vomiting and hair loss. So that would be your, what you would imagine as radiation poisoning. You start losing hair, your skin color changes, you're vomiting. And then 1,000 would mean destruction to intestinal lining. So you would basically do internal bleeding and eventually die. Probably.
And probably internal pooping.
Well, you would eventually die, if not within weeks, months. You wouldn't last more than a couple of months. So this thing could kill you in a matter of just 2 days. Isn't that insane? And they didn't know that when they were experiencing these issues. You're like, okay, where's this coming from? What is this radiation that's emitting? It's this great big glob of goo. So yeah,
it's it fascinates. I'm not as fascinated with radiation as you are.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting how it works.
What fascinates me,
science.
What fascinates me is why people want to go near it.
Because it's untouchable. It's like, it's there, but you can't see it. It's like, okay, well, what if it's just a story? It's not really there, but there's pictures of it. That's why they call it the elephant's foot, because it looks kind of like the shape of an elephant's foot.
Radioactive areas, though, I can't wrap my head around anyone that would want to go toward it. What's the point? Leave it alone. Block off the area. Stay away from it forever.
Oh, no, it's not available to be examined anymore. This was when they didn't know it was dangerous.
Yeah. Well, we watched that thing on TV about the people that go to, near Chernobyl or whatever.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, that's where this was Chernobyl.
And I don't understand why. I don't understand that. I don't understand that, why you would even want to try to do that.
I don't know. Wasn't that 30 years ago? Something like that? Wasn't
Chernobyl?
Yeah.
Chernobyl happened in the
86?
50s.
Was it the 50s?
I'm sorry, no. Yes, 86.
Was it 86?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
For a second, I was thinking about Roswell.
What were you thinking, Roswell? No.
Yes.
No.
Which I totally believe, by the way.
It's like, stop it.
I could do a whole episode on Roswell. People call me crazy. People that are silly enough not to believe in aliens. But, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I could go on all day about the fun facts about radiation. Simple things like being on your phone and watching television, and like I've said before,
your phone radioacts the heck out of you.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does. And I'm not just talking about having it to your ear.
But it's not really, really bad. It
can be over time.
Over.
They have proven that extended hardcore cell phone usage can lead to cancer.
Well, think about this. Okay, so basically...
I don't know about new phones, but I know a few years ago it was the case.
Over a period of time, your phone will emit 25 rads. And then if you think about how often we are on our phones nowadays, that makes a huge difference in your life.
Maybe that's why people are getting dumber.
Maybe, I don't know.
As they are. And maybe that's why.
They can't. You can't really say that that's what's causing it. You actually are exposed to more radiation being in an airplane than you are being on the Earth. Isn't that crazy that you're experiencing?
No, I can see that.
Up in the air.
I can see that because the atmosphere, it's different. It probably processes it differently.
Strange.
So, yeah. No, I can see that. Yeah. I can see that.
You can see that. Well, of course, Chernobyl is the most common one, but, Fukushima, that's a fun one.
Yeah, they were Fukushima'd all right.
Well, and that's probably...
Oh, that's still...
currently more dangerous, probably, because it's still new.
Yeah, that water's still super radioactive.
Oh, yeah.
And you got problems with that because that water meets the ocean.
Yeah, they're still taking off the top layer of the soil in that area so that they can, kind of start knocking that radiation down.
Mm-hmm.
Years later, They couldn't even go near it until recently.
Get the Fukushima out of here, all right?
That's right.
Yeah.
But that was all I really had.
There's a nuclear plant about 90 miles from our house.
Yeah.
And, yeah. When we were in the Cold War with Russia, when our two nations revealed because, we had contingency plans for nuclear war. That's what the Cold War was. And when they revealed the United States and Russia revealed to each other all their documents and everything about, there were two locations in the state of Ohio that were on the Soviet Union's nuke list. Mm-hmm. Those two locations, up by where that nuclear power plant is, and up by near Toledo, and right here close to us in Lima, Ohio. Yep, because we had the tank plant here. They would have nuked Lima if we would have went into a nuclear war. It would have been one of the first 10 places they nuked. So
isn't that a fun thing?
Yeah.
You could have had a tail.
And if you'd have been all right.
I'd have been fine.
Yeah.
I was hidden up in the hills. Well, I wasn't alive then, but you know what I'm saying.
Well, you weren't in the hills.
Yeah.
Like, not living up in the hills.
No, I wasn't living.
Then you might have had a tail. You never know.
Right.
Anyway.
Funny.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, actually, I would have been one of those blue people. Those.
Oh God, I remember that. The blue people. Was that real?
That's real.
Those Smurfs were real.
The blue people of Kentucky are real.
Takes a whole new meaning to that song. You could change that Blue Moon of Kentucky song to Blue People of Kentucky.
Funny.
Yeah. I always thought it was just one of the first internet hoaxes.
I don't know.
But what I will tell you is
I've never seen them myself, but I'm convinced that they're real.
Nate's going to get on his soapbox here for a minute.
Okay, get on it.
We are recording on October the 26th, 2018. You are but a mere, 11 days till November 6th?
Sure.
And November 6th is Election Day, ladies and gentlemen. Get out and vote. Vote, 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 vote. If you don't you dare be bitching about anything that happens. Get out and vote. Whether you are right, whether you are left, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever it is, get out and vote. So, I'm just telling you that right now. You're going to be voting for the first time this year, aren't you?
I am. I registered to vote this year, and I'll be voting for the first time.
Good for you.
It's awful that I'm 30 and I'm just now going to vote.
Well, vote your heart, people. Vote your heart. Don't vote what they tell you on the news, because the news isn't even the news anymore. It's just opinion channels calling themselves the news. Find the facts for yourself. Do some research. Read a little bit. And don't ever get your news or your facts or your information anywhere close to friggin' Facebook. That's for the younger listeners. Maybe some of the older listeners too. But if it's on Facebook, find a real news site and go look at it. I recommend, for American news, I recommend the British news. I recommend the BBC.
Or if you're from Ohio, just go to the Secretary of State website and they have their ballot information on there.
Right.
Because that's where I found it.
Well, I'm talking about if you want to find out about, especially if you're formulating your ideas, formulating what you are, who you are as a voter, what issues matter to you, what party do you want to be in. Everybody that can listen to the show probably knows which way I vote. I don't even have to say it. I'm not bashful about my political leanings. But I never ask anybody who or what they voted for. It's just none of my business. Most people are forthcoming with it, especially nowadays when everybody wants to fight. That's one thing I like about this new society. Because you know me, I love the debate.
I know you do.
I know. I love the fact that people are so like, me, and me. I love to debate. I hate debating with people that agree with me, though, because then it's no fun. If everybody just agrees with each other, what fun is that? I like to talk to somebody that absolutely disagrees with me as much as they fundamentally possibly can, because of two reasons. First of all, it's more fun. Second of all, you might learn something. You might go, well, hey, you know what? That person had a point. So, that being said, get out there, vote. Vote your heart. Vote your soul. But you better vote. Because if you don't vote, you're screwing everybody else. Thanks a lot. You selfish bastard.
Well, anyway. So what I was going to mention about the... Anyway. So, you were just so mean just then. Calling people selfish bastards. Jesus. Anywho... I was going to talk about how I had no idea what issue 1 for Ohio was. So that's how I found out. If you go to the Secretary of State website, you can read all about it. And not only can you read the side of if you vote yes, but it also has the opposing sides as well. So you can kind of see both sides, and come up with your own vote.
That was something, that issue brings a question up that I've been rolling this around in my head for 10 years. I go back and forth over it. Should we just go ahead and legalize all drugs?
That's a difficult one. I
know for sure we should just go ahead and legalize marijuana. But all drugs, just take any law enforcement except, much like alcohol, except age stuff. You know, you have to have age parameters.
Yeah.
But other than that, I ask you seriously, why don't we just legalize all of it? And I have a reason. And again, this is a moral one, and this is one I toss around in my head. This isn't one where I'm like, this is absolutely my answer. Usually I'm like, this is absolutely my answer. But the reason I roll around with this one is because I do understand some people's point of view on why we shouldn't. Yeah. But I don't see how anything could be any more negative if you just went ahead and legalized it. Here's why I say this, okay? First, if you legalize drugs, you have essentially taken every bit of the crime out of it. So there's no more crime. It's not a crime, so then the criminals don't benefit from it whatsoever. So now all these drug-related gang wars and stuff like that, gone, poof, out of here. So now, one other thing you've done is you've reduced the amount of people that we have in jail and prison in this country. We have the most overpopulated prison system in the world. The worst ones are people that are locked up for weed. Weed should be legal, and the minute you legalize it, you need to let those people out, because I'm tired of paying for their three meals and a bed every day. But over something stupid like a joint or whatever. But anyway, legalize it all, then the crime's gone. Because, and the reason I say that is because why I don't think it would make that much of a difference, people are getting the shit anyway. They're getting it. They're ODing on it. We have what they're calling an opioid crisis in this country. They're getting it already. So what's the difference? Really, by legalizing it, you're just reducing the prison population and reducing violent crime associated with drug use.
Hold on, get my glasses on. I'm preparing myself. So that was kind of one of the arguments that I was reading about, and that makes absolute sense to me about the prison system. Like, there's so many people in jail for dumb things like weed. Mm-hmm. Who's died from weed? I mean, seriously.
Well, or even in just drugs in general. I'm just saying, like, people are using them whether they're legal or not. So why not just legalize them and get rid of the crime element?
Now, here's the only thing. I'm talking specifically about issue 1.
I know.
Okay.
And you were talking about it earlier today.
Yeah.
So that got me to thinking about what I've thought about.
Well, no, right on. And I'm just saying, I'm specifically this one. So let's say, you're like, oh, well, why don't we just legalize all drugs, tax it, whatever, and then you're eliminating the crime. Now, with this issue, though, it's saying that it reduces the sentence for some violent crimes, such as, obviously drug trafficking, but human trafficking and, like, aggravated robbers, and that would make them eligible for a 25% sentence reduction. So there's some things on those issues that I think, okay, how is that related to drugs anyway? For one, because I don't know about you, but I think human trafficking should be pretty punishable there,
Yes. Well, but if you legalize the drug, like you just legalize it entirely, you just removed it from all of that anyway. It's no longer tied to any of that anyway.
But what about the people who were imprisoned for drug trafficking?
Drug trafficking?
Yes.
Or human trafficking?
Drug trafficking.
Well,
just straight drug trafficking.
If you legalize the drugs, and somebody's in... Now, I don't know how the government would handle it, to be perfectly honest with you.
Wouldn't it be the same as how it was with Prohibition?
I guess. But, you'd have to let those people... But 99.9% of the time, those people are also serving sentences for something else, too. The really, really bad ones are usually serving a sentence for something else.
Like the
assault,
aggravated robberies?
Well, assault, robbery, human trafficking, murder, something, So, yeah, okay, we take away their drug charge, but their crime against humanity charge is still on them. So they're still going to be in prison. So really all you're letting out are drug dealers who now will have to get a real fucking job because drugs aren't illegal anymore, so there's no need for a drug dealer. He's out. You have just colored him, painted him right out of the picture if you legalize everything. Because again, like I said, I'm not saying there's not a problem. What I'm saying is people are doing it anyway. They don't care. They don't care about the legal consequences. They don't care about the social consequences, the moral consequences. They don't care. They're doing it anyway. So for the rest of us, why don't we just legalize it so the crime is gone?
Well, and I do know a lot of the people who are against the issue are because maybe they've had family members who have overdosed,
and I sympathize.
And right, and maybe they've been dealers or something.
But that was gonna happen, whether it was legal or not. That person is getting those drugs regardless. So, again, for the rest of us, and I'm not saying you don't try to help your family member. I'm not saying that we don't still have rehab and things like that. I'm not saying, you do that with alcohol. There's alcohol rehab. I don't understand the point of having it all illegal if you can eliminate at least the crimes against humanity involved, like murder, the murders, the burglaries. If you just make it legal, fuck it. It's there. You have painted the criminals, quote unquote, the dealers, you painted them right out of the picture. The gangs, you painted them right out of the picture. I don't know. And again, I go through this over and over in my head. I don't know what I really think, but I know that's if I'm just talking about legalizing everything, that's why I say that. And I just sneezed on the air.
And you just sneezed on the air.
I'm gonna leave it in there. What's Nate doing while we're... Anyway.
Oh, no.
Anyways. There was no bump involved there, don't worry.
That's alright.
Is that it?
Oh, yeah, I'm tired.
Okay.
I'm sleepy this episode.
I can tell.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm kind of lame today.
But there was still some productive conversation.
Yeah.
So that is...
Usually I'm a little bit more conversative. I can't say it.
That is this Motley Soup episode. Don't forget, hit us up on Facebook on the Facebook page, motleysoup.com, the website. And again, like and subscribe, especially subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will be doing some special exclusive YouTube content, especially coming up probably in November and December for the holidays and the such. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned for that. We thank you for joining us on the Motley Soup Podcast.
Oh, wait, before we sign off, I believe we're going to be recording a travel episode again, too.
I believe so.
Uh-huh. It'll be a nice long one, a couple long ones, probably a 2 or 3-parter.
Scoobity-doop.
Whoop, whoop.
Scoobity-bop-bop.
Okay, that's all. Sorry, sign off.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
See ya! Motley Soupers.